What would it take to break a man's faith? To crush it so completely that hope itself drowns? What if one single night shattered your world so completely, you would have every reason to walk away? But instead, you whisper, "It is well with my soul." This is not faith when life is easy. This is faith when there is nothing left. Horatio Spafford seemed to have it all. A successful lawyer in Chicago, wise in business, respected in his city. He and his wife Anna built a beautiful home and were blessed with 5 children. Life was comfortable, secure, full of promise. But in 1871, the Great Chicago Fire turned promise into ash. In one night, the city was swallowed by flames. Thousands lost their homes. Many lost their lives. And Horatio's fortune, his real estate, his investments, his security, was gone. Yet even in loss, he and Anna did not turn inward. They walked the ruined streets, feeding the hungry, sheltering the homeless, serving a broken city though they themselves had lost so much. Still, sorrow was not finished. Not long after, their only son fell sick. They prayed, they hoped, they watched, but the illness only grew worse. And in the quiet of one heartbreaking day, their little boy breathed his last. The laughter of their home was replaced with silence. 2 years later, weary and desperate for rest, Horatio planned a trip for his family to England, where their dear friend D.L. Moody was leading great revival meetings. But at the last moment, business held him back. So Anna and their 4 daughters boarded the SS Ville du Havre, while he promised to follow in a few days. Halfway across the Atlantic, disaster struck. In the darkness of night, their ship collided with another. In 12 minutes, it sank beneath the waves. Anna was found clinging to wreckage, barely alive. Their 4 daughters, all gone. When she reached England, her telegram carried only 2 words, "Saved alone." Horatio received the message, and his knees gave way. All 4 of his girls, gone in a single night. Yet even in his grief, he boarded the next ship to bring comfort to his wife. Days into the journey, the captain called him to the deck. He pointed across the endless waters and said softly, "This is the place where the Ville du Havre went down." Horatio stood there, staring into the ocean that had swallowed his children. The weight of loss pressed upon him, but in that very place of sorrow, something eternal broke through. He took pen and paper, and wrote words the world would never forget. "When sorrows like sea billows roll, whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say, it is well with my soul." That hymn was not written from comfort, but from the deepest grief a parent can know. And yet, through unthinkable pain, it declared unshakable faith. So I ask you, when the fire takes, when sickness steals, when the waters rise and sorrow billows over your soul, will you sink with it? Or will you still whisper, through tears, "It is well with my soul"? But the story did not end on that ship deck. From one broken man's hymn, waves of hope began to travel farther than the ocean that swallowed his daughters. Sailors sang it across the seas. Churches in England and America lifted it in revival meetings. And soon, "It is well with my soul" became the anthem of a weary world, a song that could hold both pain and hope in the same breath. In times of war, soldiers whispered it as they marched into battle. In times of loss, families clung to it at gravesides, as if each note wrapped their wounds with something eternal. In times of awakening, entire congregations broke into tears, miracles sparking as the Spirit of God moved on broken hearts. D.L. Moody himself told of meetings where the hymn softened the hardest skeptic, and men who walked in mocking walked out weeping. For how can a soul deny the God who gives peace, when such peace is sung in the ashes of tragedy? And through the decades, the song did not die. It was sung at the bedside of the sick, and peace came. It was sung in the prisons of despair, and chains fell from hearts. It was sung in lands far from Chicago, across Africa, Asia, Europe, the islands of the sea, until the words became the language of revival. Even in modern times, the hymn continues to move nations. In gatherings where thousands worship, voices still tremble on the line, "Whatever my lot, thou hast taught me to say." And miracles follow, not always of healing or deliverance, but the miracle of faith that refuses to bow to sorrow. Because revival is not always fire falling from heaven. Sometimes revival is one broken heart discovering that God is still enough, that His peace can still be trusted, that His presence is greater than the waves. And so I ask again, when the fire takes, when sickness steals, when the waters rise, what song will be found in your soul? Will bitterness have the final word? Or will you join the chorus of history, the testimony of Horatio and Anna Spafford, and countless? But let me ask you, if your world fell apart tonight, what song would be left in your soul? Would your faith still whisper, "It is well"? Or would despair silence your voice? What do you truly lean on when the fire takes, when the waves rise, when sorrow feels unbearable? Do you have the kind of faith that survives the storm? If stories like this stir you, and you long for a deeper walk with God, then don't walk away. Join this journey with us. Subscribe, and let these forgotten stories of faith, fire, and revival keep awakening your heart. Because revival didn't end in history. It begins with you.